analyzing this year's Super Bowl 48 between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. Last week's contest winner is going to be in this video, Half Moon's Picks. Out of 51 draws, his name came up 8 times. It was super close. The next person down, I think, was Wyatt Z, and then Gavino C4. So thanks to everybody who commented last week with the winning names. It was the Saints, Broncos, and the Ravens, which were I can't believe we featured the Ravens that much this year, but all 3 of those teams were hosted on the show 8 times this year out of the 15 videos, so that was pretty cool. But Half Moon's Picks will be in this video, so let's get started. Peyton Manning leads the Denver Broncos to Super Bowl 48 to take on Richard Sherman and the Seattle Seahawks. I'm extremely happy that these 2 teams made it into this year's competition because of their fan bases. By far, there has been a surge of, say, bandwagon jumpers, if you will, of growth in these 2 teams' fan bases, and both teams' fans think that their team is the best in the NFL. Well, this game is going to finally put all of that into context and show us who the better team in the NFL is. The number 1 offense goes up against the number 1 defense in a game that will be everything that every NFL fan has long desired and dreamed of. The Seattle Seahawks fell short in last year's divisional matchup in Atlanta, but proved that home field advantage in Seattle is one of the most crucial keys for them to win. Saying that, Seattle beat the 49ers at home last week on a bizarre and yet extremely athletic play by Richard Sherman. The 49ers had another chance to win in a big game in last year's Super Bowl, the final play of the last drive. Kaepernick chose to throw it to the left sideline corner, and a Ravens player batted the ball away. This sealed the deal for the Ravens to win last year's Super Bowl. Flash forward to the final play of their drive in the NFC Championship game. Almost the same exact yardage to the end zone, and Kaepernick again chooses to throw to the left sideline corner to a covered wide receiver and try to force the ball into a pocket with Richard Sherman. Sherman then tips the ball away, and Malcolm Smith intercepts it. Word to the wise to all NFL coaches when playing the 49ers and the game is on the line: Kaepernick will force the ball into the sideline corner, much like Matt Ryan forces the last play of close losses to Roddy White on a crossing route from left to right at the back of the end zone. Richard Sherman saved his team's ass. Now, he did have a lot of emotion at the end of the game, and statistically, he is the best cornerback in the game right now. But if you look at his stats for the game, 2 tackles and 1 pass defense. Come on, you shouldn't be talking shit at the end of the game if you have 2 tackles and only 1 pass defense. So you did save your team's ass, but you just need to chill out a little bit. Moving on to Seattle's offense, Russell Wilson is playing great. Not just good, but not terrific either. He's playing at safe and smart, which wins football games. Marshawn Lynch is just a beast of a running back, and if Denver wants to win the Super Bowl, their big name game changer will be Lynch. The Seahawks have to throw it deep past Denver's defense, play smart on the defensive side of the ball, which they are already doing tremendously, and the receiving core have to make some big-time plays to keep up with Peyton Manning. Looking at the team on the other sideline, the Denver Broncos. The Broncos defense shut down Tom Brady and the Patriots. Like I said last week, their defense as a unit is coming into focus and playing more like a team and like a unit. They completely shut down the Patriots running game and forced them to throw the ball in cold weather. Told you all not to sleep on the Blount train. Choo-choo, right back to his house to watch the Super Bowl from his couch. Peyton played the best game of his career in the AFC Championship game and needs to do it again if the Broncos want to win the Super Bowl. Much speculation has been brought up upon whether or not Peyton will retire after this season if the Broncos win a Super Bowl. I don't have many thoughts on this because it would make sense because he is just breaking every record and he's already at the top, but it also looks like a whole bunch of nonsense if Peyton didn't come back next season. The Broncos have the top wide receiving core in the NFL, and it truly showed against the Patriots, but will it show in Super Bowl 48 against the Legion of Boom? All I know is whoever I pick to win this game, the opposite team's fans are going to be butthurt for the rest of the year. My final prediction for the game? The Seattle Seahawks will be Super Bowl 48 champions. The Seahawks, much like the Broncos, have a lot going for them, but it's defense that wins championships, and people are going to flip shit when Richard Sherman gets a ring. Marshawn Lynch will be the game's MVP with 118 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 receiving touchdown. The score will be extremely close, I think within a point. I'll say 31-30. The Broncos will have a chance to kick the game-winning field goal, and Matt Prater misses it. This cold weather is pushing for the game to be low scoring, but I always go opposite of what others think, so expect a high scoring game. For myself, I just wanted to say it's been an excellent year and hope that you stick around to my channel for new projects and new videos every week. Peace out.
Here we go. This is the big one. Can't believe I didn't even have the Seahawks making it to the playoffs in my preseason prediction. But I did correctly call the Broncos making it, but so did a shit ton of other people. Peyton and crew were impressive as they silenced Tom Brady and the Patriots. So many people were looking at Manning's record before the game in the playoffs and against Brady. Many believed he could lose, but I seriously never doubted that he was going to win. He is the superior quarterback to Brady. I don't care what the record says. I'm not afraid to say it. Go on, Patriot fans. Hate me. And the Seahawks struggled for a while but managed to score enough in the second half to prevail. Honestly, both offenses in that game did not impress me. That was a defensive battle, and it just so happened that the Hawks had the best defensive play. I'm not going to talk about Sherman. I'm not a fan. I think he's a horrible sore winner. With the number one offense playing the number one defense, I believe this is going to be a great Super Bowl, especially with the fact that it's being played in New Jersey, New York, whatever, and it could be snowing. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I think that would make the game a little bit more enjoyable. Both were the top seed in their respective conferences, but only one of them has the player who I consider to be the greatest to ever play the game. I predict the Broncos will win 30-24, and Peyton Manning will get that second ring and be the MVP of the Super Bowl and of the NFL season.
It's definitely an honor to be here at the Hatbox Kids YouTube channel. I just want to say thanks. Selecting me as the winner, as a guest speaker. It's definitely an honor. I'd just like to quick introduce myself. I'm Half Moon, Half Moon's Picks. They call me Steve or Half Moon. It's actually a nickname I got while riding a bike on a street and wearing half a pair of shorts all summer. Nobody knows that. Okay, don't say it to anybody. Anyways, I'm an AV specialist. That's an audio video specialist in the forensic field. And I'm also an NFL prognosticator enthusiast. I just do it on my spare time. Just learning some new tools is audio video editing, and just taking a stab at the dark and just see what I can do. Like I said, I love the NFL and I love video, and I just put them both together. You check out my channel when you ever get a chance. That's youtube.com/halfmoonspicks. The NFC champions, Seattle Seahawks. Known best for their number one defense. Their number one defense in points allowed, yards allowed, and pass yardage as well. Their offense is ranked around 14th place overall. Doesn't do any justice. That defense is rock solid. They've held teams, as few as 3 points, and even shut out the Giants earlier this year. Their streak against the AFC teams is 3-1. They lost to the Indianapolis Colts, but they score 45 points against Jacksonville, 23 points against Houston, 28 points against Indianapolis, and 20 points against Tennessee, averaging around 29 points against the NFC. They are 7-1 at home and 6-2 on the road. And they're best known as the team to only lose one game at home in the last 2 years. The AFC champions are the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are currently 79% of the picks, voters' picks this for the Super Bowl. Denver is known for explosive offense. I think the lowest points that they've ever scored is 20 points. That's against San Diego. Other than that, they score fairly high against their division and other divisions. In the NFC, they played 4 times, 4-0, and 47.25 average. So that's a lot of points against the NFC teams. Their defense is roughly 19th place, but their offense explosive first place in all the charts, and Peyton Manning's broke all the records. My prediction on the Super Bowl will probably be Denver minus the 2. I think they'll probably win by 6 or more points. I'm guessing the score will probably be like 27-21. I think Peyton Manning, if this is his final year, if he's not forced to retire, he just won't go out in a blaze of glory. He's going to take all the stats, NFL stats, run with them, and then win the Super Bowl that year as well. Seattle is great on defense. We know what a great defense can do, especially in the 80s. The Chicago Bears and Mike Ditka, their defense was ranked number 1, and they just tore the field, even though their offense wasn't that great, just like Seattle. But they didn't face a high-powered offense like Denver. Denver's has torn defenses apart like Kansas City and San Diego. And where offense-wise, as far as Seattle goes, they just can't get it going. Their defense, like I said, is rock solid, but against Peyton Manning, it's just too much for any team, I think. So I'm going to pick Denver -2 to win the Super Bowl. And I enjoy your channel, and thanks again, Hatbox Kid team. You guys are great. Thanks again for selecting me as the winner, and I hope to watch great videos from you guys in the future.